There, is that what they want? Is that what they want to see, bro? Is that what YouTube, the stream thing want to see, bro? They want to see me and shit like that. I think that's what it is, bro. They're saying it's not enough video. It's not enough video for them. So I had to sit there and make video. Are you getting any drop frames? Trying to see if there's any drop frames going on in this motherfucker, bro. I'm not trying to have my shit dropping crazy. Oh my gosh. Am I looking smooth? I look smooth. I ain't gonna hold you because I'm looking back at my stream. I'm looking pretty smooth. That's all I want to see. That's all I wanted, really. I just wanted to see if I was smooth. That's it. I just wanted some smoothness. Welcome to the stream, guys. We are reviewing Tron Aries. Okay, we're reviewing a little ditty. Well, not a little ditty. A franchise that continues to keep coming back and forth all the time. It refuses to die, which to a certain extent you gotta respect. Do not do that. No, don't exit. Do not exit. I almost exited this bitch. Almost turned this mug off, which is what I do not want. That's the last thing I want, actually. The first thing I want is for you guys to be in here watching me. How you guys doing? Let's get some. I don't know. There's only 2 people up in here. Let's get some things going on in the chat, fam. Shit, I ain't got nothing to say in the chat yet. I don't need all this shit. I don't need all this. This is new to me, okay? I've been live streamed in a very, very long time. It's been a minute of my live streaming abilities. But like I said, we are here to review Tron Aries, see if it's any good. We're here to review Peacemaker Season 2. I just finished that. I was going to do a reaction, but I forgot to do it last night. I came home from work, and I was just tired as shit. Went to sleep. Didn't think about reacting to it, so I was just like, I'm just going to watch it and talk about it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Do one or the other. Sometimes you can't react in things and at times that you would like to, so you just do what you can. So, now that we got that, we can cut this music off. I don't know if you guys can still hear the music or not. I'm about to turn this shit off because I'm tired of it. Let's talk. Alright, we're not here to dilly-dally and all this stuff. We're here to get into this Tron. Alright? We're here to get into this Tron, so let's talk about it. Alright? Quality and camera just went down. You see it. Tron Aries, 2025, PG-13. It is an hour and 59 minutes, almost 2 hours long. Directed by Joachim Ronning? Don't know who that is. It's written by Jesse Wugatu, David DeLillige, and Steven Lisberger. I'm just destroying these people's names. Starring Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Jeff Bridges. Who else? I forgot. What was it? Jodie Turner Smith. Jodie Turner Smith. It's Jodie Turner Smith. They want to show the full cast. All right, we'll show the full cast. Jodie Turner Smith and Evan Peters. I don't even know why they even got Jeff Bridges all that much in the cast like that. He doesn't come into the whole goddamn thing until like the last half of the movie. So there's really no reason for them to really even showcase him like that. That's just, I mean, he in there. I will not lie. He is in the movie, but he's so late in the story and everything like that. That to have him top billings like that is genuinely crazy. This is really more of a story, a small story between Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Evan Peters. I'm not ready to rate it yet, IMDb. Hold your horses. Damn. I get it. You want my database on movies on the internet, but you gotta slow down. We'll get there. Just let me review. Let me talk about the movie first, and then I'll give my rating towards the end. Jesus Christ, IMDb, just calm it. Damn, IMDb out here rushing me. Like it has to look. Yo, give it a rating now, bro. I will. Just give it a time. Just give it some seconds. But yeah, this is really much just pretty much Jared Leto, Greta Lee, Hold on, let me put myself. We don't need the IMDb no more. Not for right now. We can go back to it later. This is pretty much did I say Greta Gerwig? This is pretty much Greta Lee, Jared Leto, Jodie Turner Smith, Evan Peters, Gillian Anderson. This is pretty much their tight knit movie. Those are pretty much the characters that you mostly see on screen. I mean, you got some people. Hassan Minaj is in this. What's that one comedian guy? We gotta go back to the IMDb. We gotta go back to the IMDb. What is that one comedian guy? I always forget his name. There it is. Arturo Castro. He's in here. But him and Hassan Minaj, Cameron Monaghan, I don't even know why they have him listed. That man barely says anything. He shows up in like one scene. It's almost like what's it called? A cameo. They just take his helmet off. They show his face. He goes, and then they just straight up kill him. And they never bring him back. I don't even know why they have him listed as a... I mean, he technically was in the movie. Anybody that's in a movie will get on the cast list. But he's really just a... He's just a... what do you call it? A glorified cameo for the audience. Unnecessarily here. Didn't even need to showcase him at all. But Arturo Castro is in here. He's being more comedic here. The story here, I will say, listen. The story for this movie is absolute buns. Jesse Wiggins and David DeLigio and Steven Lisberger. I don't know if these guys wrote the screenplay, wrote the script, dialogue, or anything like that. But if they did that, they fucking suck. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Most of this movie is exposition, right? It's either exposition or there's Tron action scenes. Now the Tron action scenes are really, really good. The dialogue and the acting, subpar as hell. Really, really nothing to really cry about. Really nothing to really talk about, really. It's just very subpar. It's very bad. Because like I said, if people are talking on screen, it's just exposition. That is all. That is it. There's no real character work between anybody and any of these characters. You don't really get a full sense of them as people or as a full being of their own. If they're talking, they're explaining something, they're expositing something about the story and what they're going for. So if we have a scene, it's just, dang, why are we here in this mountain? Because they start off the movie at them in a mountain. They're like, damn, why are we here in this mountain? Well, they start off the movie on the mountain. They explain why they're here in this mountain, what they're looking for, why they're here. Pretty much it. Then it's Tron scenes. Tron scenes happen. Cool fight action scenes happen. 9 Inch Nails come with some great music. Some top tier music. I'm not going to lie to you. 9 Inch Nails. Nah, damn it. I just went over to that shit. I was trying to see some. 9 Inch Nails is going insane in this film. They are going absolutely bonkers. All right, they are giving up the music of a lifetime in this goddamn movie. All right, and you know, with Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, they're gonna come with some great music. They're gonna come with some thumping shit that's gonna keep you interested and engaged and things like that. And that's pretty much what it is. It's either exposition or a very beautifully shot music video that has this great imagery, good camera work, great action scenes, looks amazing to watch. It's either or. All right, so you know Jared Leto, what he's doing and his whole being of him coming to being and him becoming human and looking to be human, it doesn't really matter. They don't even really explain why he wants to be human or what turns him. He just wakes up one day, just full on has sentient thought and sees himself as a being. They don't really explain why. There's not a moment in here of him seeing something bad or him really pushing him towards showing that he has feelings for things. It's just he wakes up, That is a cool visual when he wakes up and he's talking to Evan Peters in the Tron universe world, and Evan Peters is showing himself as like this just face of digital stuff happening in making himself look almost like a god to Jared Leto's character of Aries. And that's pretty cool how they set that up. But they show him becoming a fighter. He can't fight against one program, and next thing you know, he's fighting all of these different programs in like seconds, and he's just taking on hundreds and hundreds of attackers all at once. Pretty cool visuals, the way they showcase it and the way they introduce you to Ares as a character. But again, they don't, even in these moments where he's dying and coming back, showing him maybe even starting to think about him becoming more human, because when he dies and come back, he remembers and retains the memories that he had before, but it's just a new body. So it's the same type of program, same type of wiring, same mental state and everything like that. It's just he's showcasing himself in a different. He's come back in a different body. He and they don't do anything with any of this other than, like I said, great visuals while you're watching it, great music. It's a great music video happening. It's thumping music from Nine Inch Nails. It's him flipping and dodging and fighting and exploding all these different attackers. But then he just comes to the real world and he just sees some rain. He sees rain, and I guess the rain, just hearing the rain, actually. He doesn't even really see it. He just hears the rain in the background at a presentation that Evan Peters is giving, showcasing, hey guys, I made some new things and made the excellent, most best soldiers that you can ever ask for. And this is a great product to get into. Gary V is there. This is a Gary V cameo. He's just in the background. He don't really say nothing, but he's there. It's kind of wild how he's just standing there, but he doesn't say anything. I'm like, dang, they ain't gonna have Gary V say anything. I mean, maybe it's a little bit too late in the Gary V train. Maybe if this was like 10 years ago, 8 years ago, 6 years ago, 9 years ago, maybe they would have made Gary V say something like, Gary V, you're here. What do you think about this, Gary V? Well, I think you gotta do what you gotta do, and you gotta take it now, and you gotta do it. I think I want to buy this. Maybe I'm doing more Mike Tyson than I am Gary V, but I'm in the same ballpark. I think Gary V and Mike Tyson they kind of sound the same if you really listen to them, right? Let's listen to some Gary V, right? Let's see if I did this Gary V impression right. Let's see if I did this Gary V impression right. Let's hear him talk real quick. Let me just go to a short. I just want to get straight to the talking. I don't want no introduction or anything like that. Let's just go to a short. This is a live. Okay, he's talking about something biblical. So he was right. He was right to be put in this movie, though. Because they talk about the Aries being biblically strong, so. Did I get it right? Me being ugly, confident, and other people being insecure is actually fake. Am I putting a little bit too much emphasis on the list? Does he not have that much of a list? Maybe it's the list. But then once you get to that Zen place of understanding that truth, it gets a lot better. Maybe I'm putting a little bit too much lift on that mug. What's it, lifts? Maybe I'm putting too much lifts on that mug. But I think I'm in the same ballpark. I think I'm in there. You get what I'm saying. He does have a somewhat of a Mike Tyson type of inflection when he talks. It's just a little deeper. It's like old man Mike Tyson now, but it's around the same thing. But he's in the background. Gary V is here. He doesn't say anything, which, like I said, I found very distracting for a second. So I'm like, why is Gary V just sitting in as a cameo? They usually have people when they don't have much of a personality, and people know them, and they show them in the background. They usually have them say something, just a little bit of something. I don't know. This time they just said, we're not having him say a damn thing. He's showing up. We're not doing another Elon Musk, because Elon Musk was in Iron Man 2. They said we are not going to have another Elon Musk situation where Elon Musk shows up and he starts talking to Iron Man, and we paint Elon Musk in a great light, and then like 10 years down the road everybody hates him. And now it's like now they just said, hey, we're just going to put him in the background. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, even better. But if you know him, you can point him out. If you don't know him, we're not showcasing him all that much. But during this presentation, while Evan Peters is given to national defense contractors, other business people, billionaires, he's presenting Aries in his printing that he got, because he can do he can do some crazy 3D printing. Unlike you can just 3D print like a gun or something, or like maybe a hazmat suit or like a helmet. He can 3D print. He can 3D print Jared Leto at his dispense at any time he with superpowers. So Jared Leto with superpowers get 3D printed into existence, and while he's there and he's presenting him to the board, Jared Leto looks outside and he hears the rain, and I guess something about the rain intrigues him. They don't really say why the rain is anything all that significant to him. They just kind of use that as his somewhat of his turning point. Even though they have another point in the movie where they use Greta Lee's character as his turning point as well, which is kind of weird why they use the rain and Greta Lee both as this turning point. And you'll see that a lot in this movie, where this movie will give you information, because like I said, all the movie is exposition when people talk. So they'll have moments where people are talking and they'll give you the exposition, and then like the next scene they'll go like Tron world or like something like that, and the action scene will happen, or then they'll just reiterate what a character in a scene just before just happened and just told you, but like in a more creative way, in a more visually pleasing way than it was in that other scene. They just do that for some reason. I don't know why they do it. It's very weird. They should do something else. They should really do something else with this film and how they handle this. But it is what it is. They're doing whatever they can. After that, that presentation, Jared Leto goes back and he starts to think about his existence. He starts to think about becoming sentient and things like that. You know how these types of things happen in these types of movies. A character that is coming from AI or robots or something like that, they'll just become sentient randomly, or they start to think about their humanity or their existence, and next thing you know, it's what the hell? I can't think of the word. I can't think of the name. I can't think of the movie. Ridley Scott did it. It's one of his best movies. Let me look up Ridley Scott. Now I gotta look up Ridley Scott, because it's on the tip of my tongue. Blade Runner. There it is. Then the next thing you know, you gotta do like a Blade Runner thing where it's like, what's real? What's not? How do I feel? Am I human? Am I robot? Am I man? Am I machine? It starts dealing with those types of questions, but it does it in such a funky way, in such a stilted and boring way, that they talk about these concepts that you've seen done over and over in hundreds of millions and billions of times when it comes to making artificial intelligence or a robot come to life type of thing. Turn a Pinocchio into a real boy, which they make a reference to that. It's extremely tedious on the story front and dialogue and any sort of way, any sort of thing in that area. Where this movie is top notch at, like really great, is the visuals. Unlike my stream, it's the visuals. This movie is at its peak best when visually, and the music is blasting, and the fight scenes are happening, and everything is really some form of amazing during these times in a movie. when things are fighting and hitting each other, and they got the Tron LED lights just going insane, and it's just niggas are flipping and they driving cars and flying and things like. This movie is fantastic. This movie is engaging as hell. The music blasting, it really creates like a shell that you're in. You're just, while you're watching the movie, you're just like in this. It almost like you're transported into a different movie, and then they'll go out of that to go again back into, people having to talk, and then you're back into a situation where you're like, what? Ew, this acting is atrocious. What's going on here is bad. I don't like none of this. All of this is bad. I don't like it. I don't like these people talking, interacting, and acting. Because everybody's acting is very bad in it. No one gives a good performance, which is somewhat of a feat in itself. That you can have a movie with nothing but named professional actors and not one person in it is given a good performance. Not one person you can really latch on to. At the most, maybe Evan Peters. Maybe Evan Peters at the most. Damn, I should jump in. Okay. Maybe at the most it's Evan Peters that you can look at and really see something's happening, and he's giving on a performance that you're interested in. Is my shit lagging? Bro, my shit lagging. Stop lagging, you dumb hoe. I don't like that. I don't like that lagging shit. Oh, it's telling me I got an error too. Oh my gosh. This live streaming shit is not easy, man. It's just not good, man. It's not a good thing when you're live streaming, okay, bro? Because listen, when it's a video, if there's no lag in a video, you know what I'm saying? It's just pretty much as clear, as smooth as you like it to be. It's not enough receiving enough. What I gotta do? What I gotta do to make it smooth? Is this enough? I gotta do. I gotta bring the goddamn thing back. Oh my god. Okay, how about this? How about that? Is this enough happening on screen for you, YouTube? My bit rate to go good. Is this enough stuff happening? All right, we got Tron, Aries in the background. We got IMDb doing some stuff. Is this enough for you? Because I don't want my stuff to be lagging and jumping and popping and locking all over the place. I'm not really looking for all of that, okay? So we gotta figure something out. Poor. It's saying my stream status is poor. And it may be poor. Oh, yeah, you can see all of that. It may be poor, but I don't know, bro. It's you can see it's saying poor shit. I don't know what the hell's happening. I don't know if it's because I don't have enough shit happening on screen. I gotta start reacting. We gotta start reacting to Tron trailers or something like that. But let's put the Tron trailer on. Maybe that can be enough. Maybe that can be enough going on in the background. Let's put the Tron Aries trailer on. Let's watch the Tron Aries trailer. Is that enough? Since time began, we've had trash ass internet connection with terrible bit rate. Is that enough for you, YouTube? Is this enough? Am I giving you what you want? Is this what you want? Well, I don't want all this music happening and stuff like that. Turn that shit off. But you see, you got great visuals like this. This shit right here, bro, in the movie wasn't fantastic. Yo, what if we do? Oh my god, I think I just hit a new meta. Dog, watching the trailer review and going back through the trailer and pointing out things throughout the trailer and reviewing it and telling you how this stuff looks good in the movie and stuff like that. I just came up with new meta. That's off the brain. That's off the top of the dome ski. But yeah, all of this looked good. Greta Lee right here. I love Greta Lee, right? She's a beautiful woman. You can all see it in her face. She's terrible here in this movie. She is absolute garbage. I am. That's judgment. I am judging this. I am complete judging this, and I'm putting my shit down. She's absolute garbage in this movie. Every scene of her, all of her acting is so boring. It almost seems like she's acting out of a Hallmark movie. Every scene, which is I don't even know how she did it. Every scene, I don't even know how they made her bad. She's usually good. She was just in Past Lives, like 2 years ago. Fantastic movie. We know she has range. We know it's possible. But here she just plays like she's in a Disney Channel movie or a Hallmark movie. Technically, this is like a overly budgeted Disney Channel movie, but that's how she acts in it. It's very bad. Her dialogue, very bad. And like I said, when she's on screen, she's just telling you, "I'm doing this for my sister. She's dead. I'm doing this for my sister." You gotta get the key. Every time someone is talking on this movie, it's literally just to explain what's happening in the plot. Nobody is human. It's literally just to explain what's happening in the plot and literally to just pontificate about the themes that they're going with. That's literally how the movie comes on. That's really cool. This shit in the database, all of that, cool. Tron world, cool. Even though there's a scene where the Aries and the bad people hack into the Tron world database, and it's cool how you can see it from their angle when they're hacking into each other. They send like the Tron guys after each other, and it's a great action scene where they're fighting and they're killing Tron people. That shit is awesome because it's showcasing them hacking. That's the 3D printer. Remember I told you the 3D printer that prints Jared Leto's and Evan Peters? That's it. That's him. That's the presentation. You see Gary V right there. That's Gary V right there. That's in that little blurry frame. You can see his gray temples. That's him. And that's them showcasing presenting Jared Leto. And he's just looking at them like, I'm really him, because they really do make him seem like him, but you don't really see anything. But they don't really make him seem like he's all that much stronger or powerful in this world. You know what I mean? They say he's biblically strong and fast, but they don't really showcase any of this stuff from him or Jodie Turner Smith. Yeah, that's the scene right there where they're hacking into the Tron and they're fighting them all. That scene is brilliant. That's a fantastic scene. It has a great action. It's amazing. It looks good. The colors are popping. Even like just right now on this dingy ass computer, in probably terrible frame rates from OBS, it still looks fantastic. All of that was great. That right there, they show a little bit of that of him fucking people up, but again, they don't show it enough. This scene oh my god, this chase scene right here, dog. This chase scene was something to behold. I ain't gonna hold you. This movie isn't great. Like I said, it's not that great, but it is good. It's good. It has great visuals. The action is fantastic. This scene right here, where they're chasing each other on the bikes. That's a great scene. The colors from the light cycles producing these like streaks of light that like can like tear things in half. It's almost like a force field being brought up behind them. Great. Fantastic. I was in the theater having the time of my life during that scene. And see, you only get like 29 minutes to live and stuff like that. I guess they don't really show it enough where he has 29 minutes to live, but they don't really show it enough to where it matters to his character, and you're like, oh, I wouldn't want to know more about him. But where you're like, I really want to know more about him and stuff like that. You're more of just like, oh, you guys 29 minutes, things happen. That's somewhat of his reasoning for doing any of this, but you don't really get enough of it to really care. It's just they don't really give you enough in this movie to care about anybody or anything happening. The writing is terrible in this movie. It's some of the worst writing you can see in any blockbuster, big budgeted movie coming out this year. Some of the worst stuff you can see all year. But the action scenes are fantastic. They're marvels of CGI and effects. And that's pretty much what Tron has always been, from what I've heard. I haven't watched the first Tron nor Tron Legacy. I don't think I've ever seen Tron Legacy in my life, or Tron. But from what people have said, they are just pretty much great visuals, muddied stories, and great music. And I guess this falls in line with all of that, because that's pretty much what this movie is. Muddy story, great visuals. I got it. It's still telling me it's terrible. I don't know. Shoot. But yeah, it's pretty much. It's a good movie. It's nothing great. It's nothing fantastic. But I think it's a great visual thing to watch in a movie theater if you have the time to do it. I would not recommend people to watch this in a movie theater. I would greatly recommend people to watch this in a movie theater. I think it's. I think it actually is something great to watch in the movie theater. Unlike some people are saying, I think this is a great movie to watch in the movie theater. All things considered, it's just a very sloppy story with terrible acting. No one gives a great performance, but everything outside of that, fantastic, great. Now, Tron, I can rate you. You're getting a 6 out of 10. Yeah, I'll give it a 6. It's good looking enough. It really is just good looking enough to pull it up to a 6. I had a fun time watching it. Dialogue scenes were terrible. Acting scenes were terrible. The character scenes were terrible. But god damn it, I had a fun time watching. Did they take my rating away? What the hell? There it is. 6 out of 10. But everything else was just so great that I was willing to bring it in. I was willing to bring it in. Alright. Let's move on. Let's talk about something else. Let's talk about Peacemaker. To anybody who's just coming in, now we're about to we're about to talk about Peacemaker Season 2. Alright? Because that just ended yesterday, right? Yeah, yesterday. They come out every Thursday. Today is Friday. Friday night is actually. So the season finale has been out for at least an entire year. Not entire year, an entire day. I am terrible with words. This is why I don't live stream enough, because I start to talk stupid and shit like that. I can't form words. I really do need my editing to cut out all the times I'm just showing my stupidity. You gotta cut out your stupidity. No one wants to see stupid shit. Actually, people love seeing stupid shit. Let me quiet that down. People actually want to see you say stupid things all the time. But I don't want to showcase nothing but, because then it'll be showing nothing but stupidity. What the hell? Where's the Peacemaker season 2 one? I need that season 2. I need that season 2, baby. I need that season 2, baby. I need that season 2. Whatever. We're cool. We're here. We're here. Here we are. Peacemaker. What a joke. What a joke he is. Is he not? He's just always funny. Now I'm saying I'm excellent, which is fantastic. Anyway, Peacemaker season 2. This was a great season. I didn't think this season was going to be as good as it was going to be. All the recurring people are back. John Cena, Daniela Brooks, Jennifer Holland, Steve Agee, Robert Patrick, Freddie Stroma as Vigilante, Frank Grillo. We even got a new people with Tim Meadows and Saul Rodriguez. Everybody here does a fantastic job. Season 2 is some of the best shit ever. I do think the structure in every episode is very, very weird, because it does feel like half of the season is just filler. I'm not gonna lie. It's funny and it's fun and it's great filler. Right? Filler doesn't mean bad. Filler just kind of means like you're wasting time. And big portions of this season does just feel like, hey brother, we're just here to waste time. We're time wasting right now. We're stretching this out longer than it needs to be. Truly, for a big chunk of this season, it just feels like how long can we stretch out this story? How long can we stretch out this story? We're giving you small bits. There'll be some episodes that's like an hour. Some episodes that's like 40 minutes. Some episodes that's like 20 minutes. Some episodes that's like 30 minutes. Some episodes that's like 4. The episode lengths change so much throughout the season, telling you each thing going on in it, that a lot of this just feels like filler more than it feels like anything that you really truly care about. But when it is going straight to the story, it's really goddamn good. Pretty much we start off Peacemaker this season, from the end of last season, they shut down August has gone in a new direction. Everybody's out. They're doing their own things. John Cena's like depressed, so he's just having sex, group sex orgies, which is amazing. Everybody should have an orgy once in their life, I guess. But he's having orgies. He's having group sex and orgies and things like that. And we see him go into this other dimension, and he goes to this other dimension, and he accidentally kills himself from there, and he's so happy to be there, and just taken back and trance to this world, because he finally has his family and his dad that he's always wanted, and you really start to feel that for him in these moments. You just start to really feel for him in his character here. You're like, oh, he finally got the family he always wanted. Ain't that some lovely shit? I love that. I love that for him. I love that he's finally getting his family. But I think everybody they try to have like a little twist. But I think everybody saw the twist coming right away just from watching it. He's like, what's the bad in this? What's gonna be the bad thing happening here, right? There's no way he can just go to this other universe. He meets a nicer version of his dad. He has his brother back, and everything is just kumbaya. Turns out it's not just kumbaya, it's Nazi-ing, okay? Because it's a world of Nazis over here, and you're like, what? Nazis won World War II. What? Peacemaker is. So we have Nazi Peacemaker. We have Nazi Keith. In we again. Everybody saw this. Everybody saw this happen. Everybody saw this coming. Anybody that watched the show, anybody that was discussing it, because you can look in the background and just see you go from one world where you got Tim Meadows, you got Adebayo, you got Judo Master, you got Frank Grillo. He's Italian. He wasn't seen as white at those times, but you have him. You got Titties in the Titties Associate. Those are like Native American people. What I'm saying is, you go from one side that has a diverse cast of races and sexual orientations and orgies happening over here, to a other side where you just see nothing but white people. Now, the first thing you go into your head when you just saw Native American titties on one side, and now you just seeing nothing but white people, you go, well, where those Native American titties at? Where's Tim Meadows type character at? Where's all the people that may not be white? And you start to piece in your head, oh, this may be a Nazi universe, just straight off the rip. Right, and then you don't get to that until like episode 6, or episode 7, episode 6 you get the reveal. Episode 7 is like you get to see what's everything's happening in this world. But episode 6, you get the reveal that they're Nazis, that they're in a Nazi world this entire time. Episode 7 is funny as hell because you get to see his dad. You get to see the mural of Adolf Hitler that I guess he was just ignoring. I wonder if you can go back throughout the episodes, throughout this season, and look in the background. Do you see do you see Hitler in the background, just sort of out of focus? I would wonder if you do see that, if you were to go back throughout the season and look in the background, if you will see that or not. I'm gonna do that and see if I can see if maybe I can see if I can spot Hitler this time. Because we all know, great directors such as James Gunn, there's no way he didn't put Hitler in the background. There's no way he didn't put Hitler in the background. But he's putting us in the perspective of Chris throughout this season, so we wasn't just focused on it. But I want to see if maybe I can. That mean Rick Flag this whole time was Rick Nazi Flag this whole time. Damn, that sucks. We never really got to see the end of that Rick Flag thing because he had a whole season. He had a whole episode dedicated to him. We thought he was gonna come back in any type of way. He does not. Rick Flags Jr. I forgot the actor who plays him, but he does not come back at all in this season. They have a whole season. They have a whole episode named after this nigga. He just does not come back. Right? They have the whole episode named after him. They have a whole episode of showing him doing stuff and being funny, and they just never go back to him, which is very, very odd that they never bring him back whatsoever. Maybe in the next season 3 they may, because they got some things, brewing up over there for next season. From where they ended off this season at, where Chris or Peacemaker is now into a whole other different dimension put there by Rick Flag Sr. for killing Rick Flag Jr. Which, that was a crazy way to end the episode, in the season. Right when we was just about to get the whole gang back together. I knew, another thing that's happening a lot, I think we gotta call it, this nigga put way too much music videos. Half of this season was just music videos. That's another thing. That's another thing that I was like, this shit is really padding out the runtime. This last episode is just like montages through music. Half of this goddamn episode. There's so many times where I'm just like, okay, guys, I want to see the story unfold. I want to talk about things. I want to see our characters interact. I don't want to keep just seeing 500 music videos. I get it. You love this style of rock. You love this music. You want to showcase it. You're starting to look like you're more so invested in advertising this music than you are this goddamn story. All right, because there's no way we just we just went through 4 different times throughout this whole last episode, 4 different montages where you just play music pretty much all the way through and you integrate a concert into it. And again, I know that's James Gunn. That's a James Gunn thing. He did it in he's been doing this since Guardians of the Galaxy. This man loves types of music, rock. He will just, if he can, he will put that shit in there. And he will make that a big bulk of the actual movie or TV show or story. And I get it, that's James Gunn shit. But he gotta calm down on this goddamn music stuff, okay? There's no reason that 500. This is this last episode was 40-something minutes, 47 minutes. There's no reason. There's no reason that 20 minutes of it is just musical montages, okay? That's way too many goddamn moments of just people, the music just blaring, and we have our characters moving around and doing stuff while the music plays on top. It just comes way too many times. It just happens way too much. It was deeply annoying to me personally. I was annoyed by it throughout that whole situation. I was like, come on, bro. By the fourth time, I was just like, bro, come on. We got to do something else. This can't just keep being music, okay? We have to tell this story. All right, the story is starting to feel like it doesn't have as much weightiness as you're trying to make it feel like it does when for half of an episode we're just listening to music and montaging, okay? There's this, and they do set it up for a little bit of, that something is going to happen, because if that's happening, towards the end of this episode, towards the end of the last episode here in this season, they just have a montage of guys and the music happening and everybody's so happy. That at some point there's going to be a shoe's going to drop. It's going to be a turn at some point. And it's happening. You just okay, let's get to it, all right? Let's just, all right, because I'm tired of this music. I get it that you love this style of rock. It's irritating as fuck to me. Personally, this overly stylized rock is kind of irritating me. I'm not all that interested in it. We need to do something else. I'm really getting annoyed by this goddamn rock music coming in over and over again. And I get it. You love it. You did it with us with Superman. You're doing it here. We get it. You love music, James Gunn. And you want the world to know what type of music you love. And I like your music. I'm shaking my head. I can sing it. But we should not be listening to music that much when I'm trying to have our characters interact, talk to each other. That's when I'm more interested in the jokes, in the story, in everything like that. That's where I'm most invested and interested in this. And because half of this season and half of this episode is music videos and montages, I can't connect to some of this shit anymore as I once was or was trying to do. Or you just sort of hand waving a lot of the story beats to keep the plot going, like Economos trying to distract. Because Lex Luthor, Frank Grillo, Rick Flag Sr. is using Lex Luthor and his team that we see in Superman, the movie, to extract and figure out which one of these portals are good enough to send people as a prison. In John Economos and Harcourt and that very fine Latina woman who's half cyborg, they finally teamed up and they're trying to figure out where Peacemaker is / Chris is, and they have John try to distract and say some jokes and things of that. And again, it's just I get that you're trying to distract them, but again, they figure out where he is and they just leave the computer screen open. And no one is looking to really stop them, even though they're we can get into trouble. You don't even need to distract them. They wasn't even caring. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even care what you guys were really doing. If you just went over to your desk and just did it, Like now you're being more conspicuous. Now they probably want to know what the hell is they doing over there, because why do they have this big, gigantic dyed beard nigga talking to us like this? We need to figure out what they doing. Now you're bringing more eyes onto you than you probably would have if you just did it. It don't seem like they was all that interested in what you were doing. But I don't know. That shit was just like they just sort of hand waved that story beat, and it was just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Whatever that happens, but it doesn't matter. They just overly hand wave it just to keep the plot going, and that's okay. It's more of a nitpick, but I was just like, damn, really? They just hand waving it just to get us to the next. Okay. But what I do like with throughout this season is how they document Chris's journey to becoming a better person, right? You know, they started off with him still somewhat, you know, like I said, having sex orgy parties, doing all that stuff, still somewhat self-hating, and drinking and lonely, and just not having good mental health. Seeing his brother and dad and all that, and him seeing that he's finally coming to the situation that he sometimes fucks up a lot, and because he's kind of dumb and a killer. He gets people killed in dumb ways, trying to protect himself or doing what he think is right in his quest for peace. You see him, people that he loved and cared for are starting to die around him, and he's starting to feel bad about that. And I like that journey that they took Chris on throughout this season, right? And him with hardcore and trying to figure out if that means anything. He's looking for acceptance and love and something in this world, and again. And he's missing that, and I liked that throughout this season. I like what they really do throughout the season. The last season, they try to give other characters things to do, like Adebayo, but we don't spend enough time with her and her girlfriend for any of us to care about her and Key's relationship. I didn't give a shit about her and Key relationship. Her and that talk about how sometimes you just gotta do what's best for each other, and I was just like, wait a minute, didn't they already figure this out? We haven't seen her talk to this woman since like episode 1. I don't care what. Why is this coming back? I would be more. I would have Tim Meadows' character in John Economos becoming closer and becoming friends, and him becoming a part of the group. I would rather have that discussion, or Vigilante. Him and his mother's, them fleshing out why he's so mean to his mother. I would rather them do that than have Adebayo talk to her girlfriend, her ex-girlfriend, they already broke up at like the beginning of this season, and then her going back to her going, we gotta break up, and it's like, bro, they was broken up at the beginning of the season. Like, they show her girlfriend not wanting to talk to her, not wanting to interact with her. So they've been broken up since the beginning of the season. So her coming back and being like, we gotta break up. I'm just like, what, didn't y'all break up at the beginning of the season? She said she didn't even want to talk to you. You said love you, and she didn't even say love you back. Y'all haven't came back to this story whatsoever throughout the entire season. And then y'all make this such a vocal point at the end of it. It was just like, I don't really get that none of that makes sense. Her little her making Adebayo almost like, I get it, you want to say nice things to your friends, but her getting on her knees talking about, Chris, you saved my life and you changed my life, and I'm so happy I met you. And it's just like, I don't. Again, they say more that they're best friends than they actually showcase it throughout this season or last season. You know what I'm saying? They don't really showcase how Chris has changed her life for the better, or in any way, shape, or form. Like, these scenes to me just felt like so undercooked that when they're having these emotional moments, I can't feel for them because I haven't seen half of these characters talk to each other. I would rather Hardcore be the one to make that display of emotional vulnerability, since that was kind of what we was getting at throughout the season, her opening up more and exploring her becoming and her knocking her shell off of her emotions and being more open to people. That seemed more like a Hardcore if you was going to go with how we've been establishing our characters and telling a story throughout the season. I felt like Hardcore would be, the one to make that speech and it land for the characters and me as a viewer while watching it. But because we haven't seen Adebayo and him have this sort of interaction with each other, or he doesn't even seem to be care throughout this season about Adebayo's feelings for him or not, it just felt like that would be Hardcore's moment of, I really care and I love you, and break down her emotions. But overall, the season was pretty fun. It was great. It had so many good character moments. I just think they need to do a little bit more with establishing some characters' emotional journeys before they try to pay them off and have character arcs, because we didn't even see these characters go through these progressions to have these type of arcs and situations happening. Most of this stuff just seems undercooked, unthought out that much, and didn't seem to really care that much for him at the end of it. So that's why I'll be giving Peacemaker Season 2. It's an 8.3. I'm giving it an 8 out of 10, baby. We're rating it. We just rated it. It was an 8 out of 10 season. I really did still love this season, though. I really did still love this season. I really still do think it was a good season. I really do think it was still a fun season. And I really do think we have a lot of good things happening in it. But ultimately, it just seems like these too much filler for this season. Too many musical montages that a lot of the character arcs somewhat fall flat. Even though we like a lot of these characters, and the emotion is just undeveloped, underwritten for me to really care about anything happening in it. But there you go. That's Tron. That's Aries. That's Peacemaker 2. We're going to end this stream. It's been an hour. My mouth is dry as shit. I got really nothing else to talk about. There's nothing interesting happening. So let's end this stream with some tunes, baby. Let's end this stream. What the hell? That's right. Let's end this stream with some tunes, baby. Let's end this stream. Let's end the stream right. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. Leave some comments. You can chat afterwards. Tell me how you guys feel about it. Tell me if I should do this more often. Probably should be a little bit more prepared. Also, probably go on my other laptop, because this laptop is fried. It's trash. Terrible connection. Can barely do anything. But I do thank you for watching. And as always, good and bye.